Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay, welcome everyone to the Pāḷi Nikāya study, part 5. This is second lesson for Samanyapala Sutta. So we are studying the Nikāya, the long discourse, the collection of long discourse. So in this lesson, we will continue studying the Samanyapala Sutta. So we have already learned about the outline of Samanyapala Sutta and what are the contexts in the Samanyapala Sutta. And so briefly, the King Ajatasattu approached to the Buddha and asked the question, what are the fruit of ascetic life? Being a practitioner or being ascetics, or we can translate it, being a bhikkhu for the Theravada tradition, for the Buddhism, being a bhikkhu. What are the benefits? He was asking this question to different religious teachers at the time. Then he did not satisfy with their answer and finally approached to the Buddha and asked the same question. At the time, before the Buddha gave the answer, and the Buddha asked the king to explain how the other religious teacher responded to him. Then King Ajatasattu himself explained about the response of the other teacher. After that, Buddha himself gave his own answer, explaining what are the fruits of the ascetic life according to Buddhism. So we have briefly learned about the whole context of the Buddha, this Samanyapala Sutta. So today, I will focus on the view of 6 religious founders, or we can say the philosopher. They are the respected teacher during the time of the Buddha. So they have their own follower, they have their own sects to teach. So we will learn one by one. At first, I'd like to suggest you to remember their name first: the Purana Kassapa, Makkhali Kosala, Ajita Kesa Kambalai, Pakuda Kachayana, Niganda Nathaputa, Sanjaya Pilathaputa. These are 6 religious teachers. And we will learn what are their views, especially how they respond to the King Ajatasattu to answer the question, what are the fruits of ascetic life? So if we learn more about their views, their teaching, it will be broader than this expression. But we can understand this must be the best of their response to the question, the same question. So let's see. The first one, Purana Kassapa. So Purana Kassapa has the view of non-action. So non-action. That's why he explained. In the previous lesson, we just used only Purana Kassapa has the view of non-action. But in this lesson, we will we will learn how he has the view of non-action. What is his view? And also, after learning each of these views held by the 6 religious founder, then we will continue to the Buddha's answer and for the preliminary requirements before meditation start. Then, so this is the second part, and we will have another lesson to continue this sutta to finalize. So altogether, there will be 3 parts for Samanyaphala Sutta. Okay, so let's start from the Purana Kassapa non-reaction, non-action, the view of non-action. So he responds to the Kin Ajadasattu that so by doer or instigator of a thing, or by one who cuts or caused to be cut. His view is, concluded by the comment, no evil is done. So that's why we need to connect. If someone do, maybe he is doer, or if someone encourage the other one to do, and he will be instigator. But whatever he do himself or he encourage the other to do, there's no evil. So in the same way, if he cut himself, if he cut the others by himself or encourage others to do the same, there will be no evil. So to burn or cause to be burned or cause grief or weariness and causing others trouble, others suffering. But this is not count as the action of evil, according to Purana Kassapa. And also here, this related to the killing and destroying others' property. And if he is stealing, also the same, not counted as evil. And also here, according to him, even a person commit the robbery or adultery, he's not counting that action is evil. That's why he say, there is no evil. It's done. But he said, at most, even if a person, that holding a razor sharp wheel and making the earth one, it means the beings on the earth, or kill and also make one single mass heap of flesh. This refers to he killed everyone and then put together. Even if this action is done, there will not be no evil and also no result for this action. He rejected this kind of action is considered as evil, so he rejected this one. Maybe, I guess his intention is to comfort or to console the King Ajahn because, as you know, the King Ajahn he has committed patricide. He killed his own father, and he feels regret and uncomfortable for that reason. Maybe the Purana Kassapa, given this answer, his intention is to console the King Ajahn. I mean, you don't need to be so sorry about that, and you don't need to regret, because this is no evil action. Then he continued his answer. He divides the region southern part of Ganges and northern part of Ganges. So in the southern part of Ganges, killing, slaying, etc. So the action, the cruel action are done, even if the cruel action are done in the southern parts. There will be no evil, and also no result for that. Then for the northern part of Ganges, even if a person is given by himself, making donation or asking the other to make the action of donation or sacrificing, and normally these actions are counted as the good action and marriage. So he can regain good benefit through this action normally. But for himself, he say this is not merit. And also, you cannot expect good result from that because this is not merit. It means he is rejecting the ethical standpoint of all action. This is not evil. This is not merit. So this because during that time, the southern part are generally, the people are generally cruel. And in northern part, people are generally faithful. That is why he explained in this way. But none of these actions are counted as evil or marriage. I mean, he rejects the action, the ethical standpoint. So this is the view of Purana Kassapa. Then we have already learned the King Ajatasattu did not satisfy with his answer because the king was asking about the fruits of ascetic life. But the Purana Kassapa was giving the answer on his view of non-action. So let's go to another religious teacher of Makkhali Kosala. So for Makkhali Kosala, maybe you remember that I explained this. Makkhali Kosala's view was regarded as the worst by the Buddha. Here, for Makkhali Kosala, what he say is, this is purification of the round of rebirth, samsara sutti in Pāļi, the purification of round of rebirth. What he say is no cause or condition for the defilements of being. So the beings are defined without any cause or condition, no reason at all. Just they are defined. In the same way, when they are purified, there's no cause or condition for the purification. So nothing to do with making effort to define or to purify, to be purified. Nothing to do with making effort. So no self-power of no other power. Nobody can help you to purify. And also, you cannot purify by yourself. He rejected all the aspect of human effort. So the human does not have any power or any strength to define himself or to purify himself. Then when he continued to give his view, to explain his view, all beings, all things, all creatures, all lives without control, without power or strength, all the experience of fixed cause of pleasure and pain through 6 kinds of rebirth. Here, he just classified the beings into 6 kinds. So he classified into different, basically based on the color. So the first one, according to the commentary explanation, is say that the Ganna is refers to the black colors and the Nila refers to the brown color like this. So the first one refers to one who is living on the cruel livelihood. So on killing animals to sell. And, and second one, Nila refers to the bhikkhu, the Buddhist monks or the practitioner. They are second lowest. So according to him, the Buddhist monks are second lowest class. And the third one, reference to the practitioner, also Niganta, refers to those who are wearing only one one part, the lower garments only, or sometimes, and use only one piece of dressing, a kind of religious people. They also consider it still lower. And the fourth one refers to the lay people, the lay people, the follow of the Achila. So Achila are their sets, they are his group. So even the lay followers of his group higher than the other religious people, according to him. Then he explained the white collar class. This refers to the Ajiwaka. They are practicing his sets, and he gives the highest one as the Brahmasuka, the premium white, like this. So he gave the specific, how to say, the lineage of the families, and mentioned as the Nanda or Vacha, etc., and including his own name, Makali Kosala. And he classified in this way. According to him, the beings are already classified through 6 kinds of rebirth. So you cannot make any effort to be higher, to be in higher position. He already rejected the rule of making effort. And so he continued explanation, different kinds. This actually is just make complicated expression. So sometimes it consists of a great amount of number, the 4,900 occupation. It does not mention in detail, but to make the listener impressive. Then he continued explanation. So I'm not explaining every number or every kinds of classification. And finally, he continued, if the beings are running around in life cycle, so 8,400,000 eons later, the round of rebirth will be ended. But before that, during this 8,400,000 eons, fools and wise, he keep the same level. So run on the cycle around, and they cannot make suffering during that time. And at the end, everybody will be, the life will be terminated without making any difference between fools and wise. So nothing to do with, to be wise, being a wise, also nothing, according to the Makali Kosala. That's why, and the Buddha put his view as the worst. So he conclude this. Therefore, there's no such thing saying. So if someone saying this is nonsense, so no meaning at all. So by this discipline or practice, if someone, or explaining, or by practicing or living in this holy life, I will bring my unripened karma to fruition. It means making ripen earlier by practicing. It is impossible. And also, if someone is ripened karma go away to wipe out, it's also, you cannot do anything. So that's why he said neither of these things is possible. And because the pleasure and pain have been measured up, according to him, the result, as a result of karma, the pleasure and pain already fixed, already measured out according to the limited time. And also you cannot, or you can neither increase nor decrease. You cannot do anything. You cannot make better or make worse. It's just already fixed. So he gives the example: if you roll the ball or strings, it will run through until the string is gone. Then at the end of the string's length, it will stop. Only when the string is gone out, it will stop. In the same way, the fools and wise, no distinction at all. They all will run on the cycle around until they make an end of suffering. An end of suffering, he already faced 8,000,000 at this. So according to him, although you make yourself better, it's nothing. No change at all. If someone doing something wrong also, nothing to do with that. So this is mechanical sala view. And also, the king didn't satisfy and continued to the Ajita Kisakambali. So here Ajita Kisakambali gave explanation on the doctrine of annihilation. This is called Uchida Ditti. Uchida Ditti. So annihilation. What he said is he was rejecting 10 kinds. 10 kinds here are nothing. There's nothing given. So making donation, this is nothing. And also making the huge amount of donation with celebration or bigger than the former one. It's also nothing. And also sacrifice. So he rejected 3. It means you can make donation, but don't expect to get any result, any benefit. This he was rejected for the benefits of the action of donation in 3 kinds. All of them will not bring any result. And he continued rejecting. These 10 are explained in the Pāļi Canon as a kind of round view. We call the Dasawatuka Micchaditti. And the opposite one is called Dasawatuka Samadhitti. So 10 base of round view and 10 base of right view. So if you understand the action of giving, action of charity will bring the benefit or result. If you understand in this, and this becomes the right view. And here he continued rejecting whatever good and bad deed has no fruit at all. And this is number 4. Then as the number 5, he rejected there's no this world. So this world is no, just illusion. And there's no next world. This also just, the meaningless expectation. There's no next life. So 6. After that, at 7, he rejected the mother and father. It means even if you behave well or you give your service to your mother or father, is no benefit, no use for yourself. Then also he rejected there's no such kind of being spontaneously arise for 5 aggregates, after this life, that moment, and then some are reborn at once. The 5 aggregates appear at once. And this kind of being is not impossible, he said. And for the last one, he rejected. There is no ascetics of Brahmin. So who have attained such kind of understanding, like this super knowledge. So they understand through the practice. they get their super knowledge and they claim, oh, there's this life and the other life, and such kind of good and bad result can be seen in next life. And these Brahmins are ascetics, and Brahmins are expressing according to their super knowledge. So he rejected, they are liars according to him. That's why for the Ajita Kesa Gambala, he rejected the 10 kinds of view. Then he continued his own view. The former part is rejected, and then this part he expressed. So according to him, the human being is composed of 4 great elements. So earth element, water element, fire element, air element. Also, the human body is composed by these 4 great elements. So when a person dies, a human being dies, the earth elements rebounds to the earth element, to the earth, to the earth itself. And the water element go to the water, and fire to fire, and air to the air. So it means after death moment, human body will be disappear according to the time period. Then, so what about the other faculties? So here the faculties refer to eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. 6 faculties. He could not reject the existence in the present life. So where did they go? Other than the 4 great elements, still have the eye, ear, etc. We are using this when we were living. So when we die, where did they go? To answer this question, he said, the faculty passed away into space, just disappear in the space. So this is his explanation about the after death moment, after life. So by following this, he concluded if a human being died, he was brought, his body, dead body was brought to the Chana ground or the cremation ground by the 4 people, and then this is coffin, coffin counted as 5, so beers is as 5th. We can see this is very obvious thing. And up to the cremation ground, because they follow, maybe sometime the relatives and friends will follow, their footsteps will be hard as to the cremation ground. Then the process, the bones of whitening, and the sacrifice and in ash. Finally, everybody to the dust, change to the dust. Then here, because we see this process to everyone after death, after death moment. So if someone is talking this, so this kind of explanation of talking about the gift, donation is good, and you will regain something back. It is full to understand, to accept this view. According to him, he rejected. So for himself, it is nothing if someone is giving this kind of the benefits of donation in next life, because there's no next life for himself. It is meaningless. So fools and wife, it doesn't matter fools or wise person. After breaking up of the body, after death moment, everything was destroyed and perished. They do not exist after death. So he rejected the next life. So for the present life, it's okay. We can see the composition of elements and faculties. We still can call this is beings, this is human beings. But if someone talk about after death, next life, it is just a fool. This is Ajita Kesakambli's view. Then, so the king approached to the Pakuda Kachayana as a fourth one. Then Pakuda Kachayana, he explained, this one just respond to the king. It is hard to say. He explained his own view. So here he also the same as the first one, Purana Kassapa. He was trying to console the king. So according to him, the 7 things here, these 7 things are not made by anyone. Not made by anyone, cannot be changed. It's already exist according to him. This Vakuda Kachayana. And also these 7 things cannot be shaken. So never change. Always exist. So nobody can make up for pleasure or pain. So, he explained about the 7. So same as the previous one, earth, water, fire, and air. Still, they are accepting the existence of 4 great elements. And he explained there are pleasure, pain, and after that, finally, the life principle, which is called jiva. So basically, according to Buddhism, the Brown view are based on either atta or soul or jiva, life, here life principle. So for Pakuda Kachayana, he counted 7 with great element and the pleasure, pain. These are, we can say the good and bad feeling. Then finally, the life. So nobody can change. Nobody can touch to these 7 because they exist by their own nature. So, okay, based on this theory, he continued explanation. Even someone killed to another being, other beings. So the slain or no slayer. Or if someone asks to do something, if the other person listening and doing, also not counted as the slain or slayer for this case. Also, if someone learn about this event, whatever happened, but this is not known actually, because the existence only is 4 elements, pain, pleasure, and life principle. 7 only exist, nothing else exists for himself. So he concludes his view because of this reality existence. If someone or whoever cut off a man's head with a sharp sword does not deprive anyone's life, it's not killing. Even he head off the other person, it is not killing. Because the blade just intervening space between these 7 bodies. So it means human body composed of 7. When the head was cut off, the blade just go into the elements and the 7 things just going through, because these are untouchable elements. So you may think the body is dying, but his life principle is not touched at all by the blade. Or just the form is changed. The life is not changed. The life is not killed. So maybe he trying to console the king for his manner of killing his own father, rejecting the manner of killing. Then the king was not searching for that. That's why he did not satisfy and continued to the Nikāya Buddha. And he explained the 4-fold restraints. So according to him, Nikāya I mean, he explained about the practice of his own religious practitioner, his own group. His group are called the practitioner are called the Nikāya. So Nikāya are bounded by the fourfold restraints. So every Nikāya are making bound to practice these fourfold restraints. And this translation, it is hard to understand for me, and that's why I add Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi's translation here. So Nikāya refer to his disciple, so his group. The practitioner is restrained with regard to all water. So it means if you commit by yourself as Nikāya, you need to avoid using all water because there are some bacteria or insect inside the cold water. So if you use it and you harm to them, this is not good for the ethical standpoint. That's why you need to avoid the advice, and the Nikāya follow his advice, and all of them avoid using the water. That's why after the going for Thailand, also they are using just their hands or other things other than using water. Then second one, so for Nikāya, he is endowed with the avoidance of all evil. His suggestion is very similar to Buddhist teaching in some case. Here, to avoid all evil. So the Buddha also, in his three advice, first thing is to avoid all evil. So that's why the following three is very similar to the Buddha's teaching. So cleanse by the avoidance of all evil, and the suffice with the avoidance of all evil. So if someone follow to the practice of Nikāya, he need to practice fourfold restraints. Then he just explained about this. And that's why Nikāya is called the self-perfected or self-control, self-established, because they purify by themselves from evil. Here in this case, the commentary explained, in this case, not using water, it's not really going wrong way. Also, the other three related to the avoidance of evil, still same as the Buddhist teaching. Why his view is counted as wrong view? So this is the question. And according to the commentary literature, he suggested because his view are established based upon the existence of jiva, life principle. So jiva, sometimes his according to his own view, that life principle is permanent, some parts, and the other parts sometimes impermanent. So he practiced based upon this view of existence of the permanent life principle, jiva. So the base is permanent existence or jiva considered as wrong view. That's why the Nikāya Buddha's view also counted as one of the wrong view. And this is the fifth one. And let's go to the final one, the less religious teacher. So this one, King Ajata Satu didn't satisfy with his answer, the Sanjaya Pilata Buddha. That's why he gave the comment on this view. So all of the ascetics and Brahmin, the Sanjaya Pilata Buddha is the most stupid and confused. Why? He was following in previous sutta we have learned the irreverence, so Amaraviki evading. So he just explained about the evasion. He said, if you ask me this question, is there another walk after this life? So his formula of answering is complicated. He just say, if I thought so, I will say so. but I don't think so. I don't say it is so, and I don't say otherwise. Very difficult to conclude what he is trying to say. But we know he's telling something. He's saying something, but we don't know what is his answer. And I don't say it is not, and I don't say it is not. I do not say it is not. Very complicated. So you can translate it into your own language and try to understand what it means. And also, he continued, if you ask me another question about are there beings who have taken rebirth? Also, he gave the complicated answer. And continuing by different question and giving complicated answer to all of them. And he explained, this refers to the Tathagata, is it after death or does he know? To all questions, he never say whether it is or it is not. It just make confusion. That's why the king didn't satisfy. Okay, so these are the views of six teachers. So let's continue about the Buddha's teaching. The Buddha's answer consists of the two parts. The first part, the preliminary stages of meditation, and another part, the attainment through the meditation. These are considered as the fruits of the ascetic life. So this slide we already explained in the previous lesson. So preliminary requirements are fourfold. The first one, a real morality, so noble morality. In the first sutta, we already studied the moral precept divided into three parts and explained. Then, and second one is restraining of six indriya samvara. We will explain here. And the third one is the accomplishment of mindfulness and clear comprehension or clear awareness, sati sampajanya. And the fourth one is a real contentment, santosa. After that, he is ready to go to the solitary lodging, solitary area and private area to continue his meditation. And the Buddha gave the posture of meditation and also continue explanation about the abandonment of five mental hindrances with the example. So this what example will be in this lesson. So in this lesson, let's start from the moral precept. So in the accomplishment of moral practice, sila, I will not repeat everything here and just explaining, finding out at the end, the Buddha pointed out if they are practitioner or bhikkhu reach to the accomplishment of the moral practice, he can be regarded as the perfected in the moral practice, morality. At that time, so the Buddha pointed out the benefit. So if someone practices to the perfect situation of moral practice, he sees no danger from any side owing to his being restrained from morality. So it means because he is practicing moral precept, he may have danger. This is impossible for himself. That's why he has full confidence on that case. So he is not afraid of self-accusation or regret of the blame of the others, because he has completed the practice of morality. Buddha gave the example, if the king, Nikāya refers to the king, and he conquered the enemy and he occupied the battlefield. All direction, he already conquered the enemies at that time in that situation. So he see no danger from any direction. In the same way, the monks or anybody, whoever already completed his practice of morality, sees no danger anywhere. It means he has a complete confidence on his own moral precept, moral practice. Then, as a result, he experienced himself the blameless bliss. This is remarkable. What you can get through your moral practice, making perfection of your moral practice. This is the benefit, blameless bliss. This is called the Anavaja Sukha. So happiness or bliss, you can get from different way, different practice. But some are considered as the blameworthy bliss. Blameworthy bliss. But in this case, this bliss you obtain through the moral practice, accomplishment of the moral practice. This is blameless bliss. For example, if you avoid from killing, or if you avoid from stealing, so you consider or you reflect yourself, or I'm keeping this moral precept, I'm purifying myself, and you have confidence. Based on that confidence, you get the bliss. That is blameless bliss. In the same way, you can extend whatever moral practice, and through that, you can get this kind of bliss. So, in many cases, if we study, we will see, in many cases, the bhikkhu reflecting their moral precept, which is kept in purification. Then they gain this blameless bliss. After that, they continue practicing the insight meditation, and they easily attain the enlightenment. This means the moralities can be the base of further practice. So that's why the Buddha said the first preliminary requirement is moral practice. So he needs to maintain, if he like to continue practicing concentration or wisdom practice, the morality is the base. Then second one, accomplishment of sense restraint. So if someone completed the stage of moral practice, he need to consider what else I should do. His second stage is guardian of the sense door. So sense door, we need to count it. So eye door, ear door, nose door, tongue door, body door, and mind door. Because through these faculties, the object can come into mind, and we can say the mind can take the object through that, and we can know whatever visible form or whatever sound like this through them, through these faculties. So if we are not making any effort to restrain, there will be a greed or sorrow or any other evil situation, evil mental state will appear due to the events, events here on seeing. So using the eye, you will see something. Everyday life, we are seeing whatever, good or bad, like or dislike, and we are seeing. At that time, if we see something we like, then the greed will arise in our mind. If we see something we dislike, and the sorrow or any other evil situation, evil state of mind can arise in our mental process if we don't try to restrain, or if we don't keep a guardians in the moment of seeing, at the same time in the moment of hearing or smelling, tasting, feeling, or knowing, thinking. Only when we make the guardians, that this also refers to the mindfulness. You mindfully also on account of seeing, and filter out. You need to filter by the proper attention or wise reflection, which is called yoniso manasikara. It's very useful word. So by that filter, you can filter out unnecessary things. This is like the greed or sorrow or the other unwholesome state from your mind. Otherwise, if you let it go according to its own nature, in many cases, the greed, sorrow, or any other evil, unskilled mental state will be in your mind. So in daily life, we cannot close our eye not to see, or we cannot close our ear not to hear anything. So in the same way, whenever we encounter this situation, we need to be restrained. We need to try to restrain our sense faculty by the mindfulness practice. At least you need to learn whether the greed is arising or sorrow or the other evil mental state in your mind. If it is arising, it means your filter is not working. So this is the way how to restrain your sense faculty. So whenever you know the object by your mind, and you need to restrain your sense faculty, not let greed, sorrow, or evil state arise in your mind, not to let them arise. Then finally, if you can filter out, then you get the blameless bliss again. So it means two stages of moralities and controlling sense faculties leading to the blameless bliss. By practicing these two preliminary requirements, you can get the blameless bliss, which can be the beginning or the supportive condition to arise the concentration and wisdom. So Buddhist practice leading to the accomplishment of the wisdom. Okay, so the third one is mindfulness, sati, and clear awareness, sampajanya. In this case, so you can read yourself, and I can explain only the brief explanation. So focusing on the daily life activities, or such as going forward or returning back, or eating in the manner of eating, or in any posture, or speaking or keeping silent, whatever you are doing in your daily life. And their suggestion is called mindfulness and clear awareness should be accomplished. So in daily life, you need to develop the power of mindfulness and clear awareness. So here, clear awareness refers to the analyzing and understanding or investigating more and more. This is the work of wisdom or insight knowledge. So maybe we can consider this one the lower level, a low level of wisdom or insight knowledge to be aware of. So here, clear awareness or clear, then I think the Bhikkhu Bodhi prefer to use clear comprehension to be closer understanding with the meaning of understanding. So here, you need to practice. If you want to be accomplished, the further practice, you need to practice this sati and clear awareness, the nature of clear awareness to be stronger and stronger in your daily life activities. This is the third requirement. And for the fourth requirement is the contentment This is the last one for the preliminary practice. So here, the Buddha is playing. So here, the monk, the practitioner, to make sure he is the practitioner of the samana, ascetic life. But this practice can apply to everyone who want to continue his way of practice in the Buddhist practice. So he is satisfied with a robe. This is the bhikkhu dresses called robe. So for the lay people, we can apply this dressing to protect his body. If the robe is sufficient to support or to maintain the body, it's okay. He's satisfied by that. Or for arms, this is food. For food, he's satisfied with the stomach. If the stomach is keep in the right position, it means not for enjoyment, to maintain his body and to keep quiet the stomach. It is sufficient for him, and he accepts the right amount. So accept the right amount, not keeping for the next day or for the other days. Just accepting, today, this is enough for today's meal, and he go away. And it means he keep his contentment with regard to two things, dressing and food. Buddha gave the example just as the bird, it has only wings to carry out, as a burden. When the birds fly away or traveling around, and nothing to pack. In the same way, bhikkhu should be in this way. The Buddha suggests. In this way, the Buddha explain the preliminary requirement for the practice of concentration and wisdom. After that, Buddha continued explaining to the abandonment of five mental hindrances as the meditation. So for the meditator, this Sutta explanation is very important. If we don't understand this link, and as a preliminary stage for the beginner, they just try to develop their concentration and insight knowledge only, other than fulfilling their basic requirement. It is hard to say, it is hard to be successful. So let's consider if someone without any practice of moral precept or without the controlling sense faculty or without the mindfulness and clear comprehension in the strong position or no contentment at all, how he can continue to meditate or to develop his concentration and insight knowledge. That's why these preliminary requirements can be fulfilled before you reach to the certain area to practice. So especially here, meditation retreat or meditation center, before you go in there, you can practice these 4 preliminary requirements in your daily life. If you have already practiced them into certain level, at least you can prevent yourself, your mind, not to be under the greed or sorrowful feeling or any other evil state in your daily life. And if you can clean up the defilement in your mind, you are ready. But when you go to meditation center or any secluded area, even in your room, you can continue practicing your concentration or insight meditation to be successful, to see what are the attainments. So for the concentration practice, the Buddha explained here in this sutta and the previous sutta as the 4 jhana. as a result of the concentration meditation. And in this sutta, in some, the further attainment is explained as the result of the concentration, like the divine eyes or divine ears. And some, the insight meditation and the attainment of the arhatship as a result of the vipassana meditation. So in this sutta, I like to suggest you read carefully what are the preliminary requirements and trying to apply these requirements, trying to apply this practice into your daily life, and you can be a practitioner of Buddhist way, living in your daily life activity. So you don't need to ordain as a bhikkhu or nun at the beginning. Finally, if you want to separate yourself from the family duty or daily activity in society, and you can ordain and you can continue practicing, or you still can continue in your daily life practicing Buddhist meditation and attain the higher level. And you can see the benefits of the ascetic life according to the question of King Ajatasattu. So I hope from this sutta you attain these things, linking process from the lay life beginner to the higher level of meditator, these 4 requirements. Okay, thank you very much for your attention and participation. Thank you.
Thank you, Sayadaw. Sayadaw, thank you so much for today's teaching.